Guys, I'm hot right now. I'm steaming, one would say.
They done did it again.
Well, dig this. And now there's even more. The hits just keep on coming. Okay. So, here in the last 20 minutes, I have received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 claims on my on live streams of ours. Not just any live streams, but live streams of your basic everyday video games, you know, Dead Space, Until Dawn, this and that. And guess who's claiming them? Guess who? Out of everybody on the internet, one of the most famous people out there who's going to be having a very high-profile boxing match here soon, KSI. KSI has officially claimed every single one of our horror game live streams from the last year, pretty much.
Ow.
Because he's going through WMG now to protect his videos, and where gameplay footage is pretty much exactly the same no matter who plays it in a lot of cases, especially with games like Dead Space and games like Until Dawn, they get claimed. And that means I will have to now submit even more now. That's 21.
So
21 claims from KSI on my frigging games.
This is like somebody that videos that you guys react to?
No, these are us. We live streamed us playing the game.
So why the fuck does he have any ability? He didn't make the game.
Because this is the same thing that Linus Tech Tips ran into when Linus started content managing his videos. He did these benchmarks, like Heaven benchmark, time, I forget the name of that one, but there's Fire Strike. There's a whole bunch of different benchmarks, and they are the exact same every time you run them. And in a lot of his benchmarking videos on like cards and different processors and stuff like that, he included the video with it, and whenever he put it in the content claim system, it copied everything in the video and says anything that's in this video is now copyright claimed. That includes the benchmarks that he ran, and then when anyone else posted a benchmark with that, it got claimed by Linus Tech Tips. And now it's the same thing happening here with KSI. KSI is officially run down. Oh my God, 23 now.
So
holy shit!
This is them doing it, or YouTube?
No. This is his company that he's going through. Yep, 3 more right there. 26. WMG. That's who he's going through now. My God, I don't understand this, guys. I really don't understand this. How in the hell is this right? Because I'm going to have to dispute every single one of these, and they're never going to take time out of their day to look at it, and so I'm just going to have to wait 30 days for it to actually clear, and then guess what? If they see it and they're thinking, oh, this guy's just, this guy's not legitimate, they're just going to appeal, they're just going to dispute the claim, and then I'm going to have to appeal it. And that's another 30 days wasted down the drain. I mean, it's a freaking... It's an irrevocable process of just absolute insanity. It's repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Hey, I'm gonna copyright claim my videos, even though it's me playing a fucking video game that I don't actually own. So how the hell can I claim it? Makes no sense. It's fucking ridiculous. And I hate this shit, alright? I hate it. It's a travesty. It is a... They don't make this shit easy, guys. They don't. And, you know, you do everything you can. You toe the line. You make everything as kosher as you can. You make everything as clean as you can. And they still find ways to weasel their way in and take something from you. Every time.
I don't understand how exactly...
It's the copyright claim system, dude. They don't have to have a reason.
See, that's the thing. See, like, I mean, the claim shit, even if you claim it, like that should be something that like you can't take away the people, because if somebody, you put out a video and somebody immediately claims it in that time, like that, for a lot of people that are getting followed shit, they don't get that money there from the initial, like the wave of people that are viewing it, right? So it's complete bullshit. Even if that video, even if you prove that there's no claim to it and it's your video and everything, it doesn't matter. You're already fucked, because the most of your audience has already watched it, so you're not going to get the income from it, right? So I mean, that there should be a fucking system in place where if somebody's going to claim a video, that doesn't automatically redirect the funds to them, because that sounds like fucking goddamn just extortion or some shit. Anyways,
it is by definition extortion.
That should be something that, okay, you claim it, it'll have to go through that review process, not fucking let's work backwards and fucking the goddamn person who is putting out the video has to prove that it's their video. That's fucking bullshit. But 5
more claims right there. 5 more. Okay.
Now, are these videos that you guys did a long time ago, or
some of them are, but some of them are from this year, or from our live streams that we did this year.
Shit.
And they're all getting claimed. Like, I'm looking here. I've got. Good Lord, man, it's never ending.
And these are just on all kinds of different games and stuff.
Yeah, all the different horror games that we played and stuff like that.
Surely this is affecting like 100,000 other YouTube.
Potentially.
Right? I mean, that doesn't...
Yeah, potentially everyone else is getting hit by this too.
Basically, YouTube is just opening itself up for all kinds of fucking lawsuits.
This is how it's been for the last 2 to 3 years. Ever since the copyright content... Ever since the content claiming system came into effect, ever since they made it to where YouTubers can upload or can put their stuff in the copyright claiming system, then they can say, oh, this is our copyrighted work now, because YouTube will provide copyright protection for them. However, here's the problem with that: not everything that goes up on the internet in these videos 100% belongs to the person who is claiming it. So, for instance, like Linus Tech Tips, when he did the Heaven and Firestrike benchmarks on his videos, and they take up a pretty good section of his videos while he's talking about them and talking about how the benchmarks work and everything, and someone else comes in and they include Firestrike or Heaven benchmark in theirs, and they post theirs, and the very moment they post theirs, claimed immediately by Linus Tech Tips. And there's a guy who's had his videos claimed by Linus Tech Tips, and they went through the full appeal process. Whenever you appeal a copyright claim, they give the person who originally claimed the video 30 days to dispute it, and if they dispute it, then if they dispute within 30 days, but you still feel like your claim is valid, you can submit an appeal.
And does YouTube retroactively, like from take the views and stuff that you get from that whatever you put out, retroactively give you the money that you made off that, or does that?
Sometimes they do, man. Sometimes they do, because they've taken money away from us because of a claim that someone made on our video, and then we counterclaimed it, and we won. And we didn't get the money back.
So it's just stealing. I mean, it's
effectively, yes, it is stealing. No, that's how it works. That's how YouTube operates.
Glad to know that YouTube is enabling theft. Awesome. Probably grand theft for some of the big YouTubers, if you consider how much money they probably make from their shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this stuff right here, it's nothing original. This has been a thing. For a long time, for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been a problem, and it's a big problem right now because everyone is trying to get their stuff copyright in the copyright system, so that no one can copy their stuff. For instance, I think Grade A Under A tried that, but yet Grade A Under A was using. He was using pictures that were owned by other people, and he didn't accredit them.
Of course.
But whenever he entered them,
as you do.
Well, as you do.
It's how it always works. Is you want to make sure all your work is good, but you're not going to go through the effort of making sure that you're not.
Well, and he did that, and by him doing that, YouTube effectively told him, we can't do this. We can't do this with your videos. And he's like, why not? And they said, because these people already have claims on these, and they're official photos by these professional photographers and stuff like that. And thus, it's just... This is why I think the copyright system here in the United States is absolute nonsense. Because CGP Grey pointed this out. CGP Grey is a great YouTuber, by the way. He pointed out that 28 years should be enough time for someone to make money off of their work before it is officially released into the wild for anyone and everyone to use freely.
Yeah.
For instance, the Walt Disney Company, what it was built off of was older stories that were reused and reworked by its original by the Walt Disney Company's original owner, Walt Disney. A lot of the Pinocchio, not the Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. You look at all these classic tales that Walt Disney had free and at his disposal, that he could rework and reuse at his disposal and tell his own versions of it, and in turn became the more popular version. Yeah, exactly. And guess what? Now, because the copyright system the way it is now, that ensures that nobody will ever be able to create a more popular version of Snow White, because if it gets more popular, then they'll say, oh, you're just copying our work that we did for Sleeping Beauty, or you're copying our work that we did for Snow White. And thus, it ensures that it can't be more popular. No. Because if it's more popular, then they can just sue the pants off of you. Even though Snow White and Sleeping Beauty have been out of copyright control and been in Creative Commons now for the better part of... Oh, there it is. Yeah. It always happens.
I thought I'd mute
it. But this is just absolute nonsense, guys. And I'm sorry I went on a rant there for a little bit, but I'm just angry right now because this has been outright just lunacy. This has been a constant battle against insanity, and I'm sorry that I'm angry right now, and I'm sorry that I'm being very loud. 3 more right there. God have mercy. And it never ends, guys. It never ends.
Well, shifting onto a brighter note, China has decided to show some more of its authoritarianism and has limited gaming across the board for by and large, at least for people under 18 years old. So I don't know if you read any of the...
I heard about that.
Basically, I don't know if you know any of the details, but pretty much it will limit, I guess, everybody under the age of, I think it was 18, will only be allowed to play video games. They have to be one. It's really it's like fucking dystopian, goddamn equilibrium of this shit. But people have to register into like the national citizenry registry or whatever, and for their gaming accounts. And basically it'll track so you can't just create like 10 different accounts for this right off the bat. You're limited to one account. So with that one account, on weekdays you're limited to 90 minutes of gameplay, and on weekends 3 hours. So if you're a game streamer, if that's the job you do, congratulations, you are now out of work if you're at least under 18. I'm assuming this will eventually expand to everyone, to all adults, but
ladies and gentlemen, this bout of depression is brought to you by Renegades Ramble.
So that and there's also now something that's a little bit more like I can kind of understand it to a degree is anyone under the age of 16, you're only like you can put money into like an account to buy like microtransactions and stuff like that. Everyone under the age of 16 is limited to 200 yuan, which is about $29, and everyone 16 to 18 limited to 400 yuan, which is about $57. So, which for children, I can understand from like the aspect of children don't know what money's worth and stuff like that, and so if they're just spending money without their parents knowing and stuff, that is gonna be a problem. But they definitely, China doesn't know how to really take measures and kind of they go full on with any kind of correction. There's no little soft adjustments or small changes and stuff like that. They go full ham with any kind of societal change. I don't know if you heard about like their toilet type, the facial recognition for toilet paper they have in cities and stuff, because people due to some of the problems that were created during the Great Leap Forward / backwards, however you want to define it. There's a lot of a lot of elderly in China that they don't, when they see things that are free, they have the mindset that they immediately have to go at like any kind of like a free buffet. You'll see them just like load up plates of food because that's the mindset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm glad I live in America. Yeah. Because facial recognition for toilet paper.
Yeah, basically any public restrooms, they will just take the toilet paper, they would just take it, and so it became such a problem that they had to like set up this facial recognition, and of course they break pretty quick, but.
And everyone says China's the future. My ass.
Yeah. But with this, it's just... Now, from my perspective, maybe this is a good thing for us, because if gamers can't play these games as much, and China also regulates the amount certain games they can go and stuff, maybe it's going to be a wake-up call to companies like Blizzard and EA and Activision and stuff, and Bethesda and stuff, that hey, we can't, this is becoming not very profitable, and everybody in Western countries don't fucking like us for kowtowing to the CCP. Maybe this isn't even worth anymore. We're just going to fucking go back to making games like they should be, instead of, we can't have skeletons in the game because it's culturally offensive. So...
Yeah, I don't know anymore, man. I mean, you think... you look back on... It's like, oh, we don't want to offend the Chinese. Well, the Chinese sure as hell don't mind offending us.
Oh, dude,
they hate us over there.
Everything is a insult to them. If it's not the utmost support for the CCP, it's an insult, and they can't handle it. And I don't blame the Chinese people for that.
No, I don't.
The CCP has conditioned this, and to resist against it is pretty. You're not going to find people on YouTube generally from China. But even if you did, you're not going to find people on that are in China that are countering the argument, that are giving the other side of it, because they will be shipped off to a re-education center where you get to play basketball and learn skills all behind concrete and barbed wire. But they don't want to show you that part. No,
they don't. They want to show you, like, come visit the Great Wall of China. Come to Shanghai and see our great financial center. Come to Hong Kong, which is not really part of China, but we say it is because we want it to be, because we want their credit. That's really it. Yeah. They're trying to absorb Hong Kong because Hong Kong has good credit.
Now they basically, like, the reason China, like the CCP is doing this, because they think that pretty much the gaming is a huge detriment to society and stuff, that it's making people less productive and stuff, which, I mean, that obviously we're doing it here in the United States and Europe and stuff, and we're doing pretty damn good. I would say that.
Well, it's because we have free expression.
Yeah,
we have free expression, and we don't feel like we're rats in a cage.
Right. But in China, you can't counter that argument because, again, re-education can't. So,
of course,
and that's what I'm saying is they see a problem, and they don't look beyond, like, at other factors, like i.e.
So KSI had someone tweet him showing the same thing. They're getting claims 39 minutes ago, and he was like, "I'll sort." So I went ahead and tweeted at him. I was like, "Same thing's happening to Renegade Media Group, bro."
Oh, he's gonna have to sort through a lot.
Dude, yeah, because if it's not just us and it's thousands of videos...
Yeah, he's going to have to, like, contact the company and be like, yo, undo everything you've been doing.
Exactly. That's what you get, man. That's what you get whenever you try and universally market yourself as the sole proprietor of something, when you don't even own the thing.
Yeah, I just don't
that you're broadcasting.
That doesn't make sense. Like, you can, okay, I made a video, streaming on Dead Space, so everything with Dead Space is mine now. What the fuck?
Not at all how that works.
Nope.
That's how the claiming system is trying to make it seem like it works.
That's the thing. I mean, like, and
I don't think it's that people, like, he doesn't, think that way. Like, it's just that company's stupid algorithm is fucking up royally.
Yeah, I like KSI. I mean, he's harmless enough. I mean, he's.
That's why I have a feeling it's more due to laziness on YouTube and Google's part, because there's just so many videos that get loaded up to YouTube. They don't even want to fucking bother. They'll just put together some algorithm that does the job for them, and there's no real oversight on anything.
You remember when the internet used to be fun, guys? You remember when the internet just used to be...
I mean, it's like everything. Everything is a Wild West period to everything, and now we're no longer in the Wild West era of the internet, and so...
Which sucks. Because I remember AMV Hell was one of my favorite series to watch here on YouTube, and it was just these random compilations that people came up with on the internet. It was like anime music video clips that people put together, and they made one that was over an hour long. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it was some of the funniest shit ever. And now they're all gone now because of the YouTube copyright claim system. God. The world sucks sometimes, guys.
No, I was thinking of the strikes.
What? The copyright strikes?
I was going to give you those. Like, because those claims those don't affect, like, as far as, like, you getting strikes or anything, does it?
Not really. 8 more.
Is he sorting fast enough?
I don't think so, dude. This is... Jeez, Christ.
It would be nice if he sees it, manages to undo it, so you don't have to go through and manually do all that shit, though.
I don't think so. Because I'm seeing here, this is all just... Literally so many videos. I'm counting them on here. Now, oh my god. Literally the last oh my god. This is friggin' ridiculous.
Well,
this is friggin' ridiculous.
You still counting?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And then there's more on the other channel. 41, 42, 43. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. 55 claims within the last hour.
Dr. Dell says they really know how to put the FU in fair use, huh?
You ain't kidding. Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Dude, and like I said, when we started this up, dude, I'm hot. And I'm not talking Carmen Electra in 95. I'm talking Supernova. I'm mad right now, dude. This is absolute nonsense.
I do hope you get that shit resolved.
Well,
this dude's going to get fucked up.
Well, he already has gotten fucked up. I mean, he's like... Everyone used to love him back in the day, but now, ever since a lot of people think he's annoying now, which I don't know. I still find him to be funny every now and again, but it's just him and his brother had a bit of a falling out, and his brother Deji is a nice enough kid, but it's a lot like it. I find him the less annoying out of. Because him and Logan Paul are having another boxing match here soon. A sequel boxing match, if you will. And apparently, between those two, I find KSI to be a lot less of an annoyance. But...
Well, in other news, what else you got?
Oh, well... as the thumbnail of the video was, before all this copyright claim BS happened, crappy sequels.
Terminator is officially dead.
That's what And I know there's people out there who are going to say, I like the Terminator film. It's like, you can like the Terminator film, but if it doesn't make money, they're going to stop making them. That's just how it is. Now, people can write fan fictions and all that until the cows come home, but...
The thing is about good movies, good franchise, and things like that is there has to be a point to stop. Like, that's why I like Battlestar Galactica. It's a nice, it's a good story overall. There's a lot of good story points in it, but it ends. There's a definitive ending to it. Unlike The Walking Dead, which is just kind of gone on and on and on, and now they're down to what, like 2 of the original characters or something?
I think so.
The actors are left alive. I mean, like, yeah, it just drags on, and then people eventually get tired of it and stuff. And so when you try and dredge it out, I don't understand how Genesis wasn't a kind of like, okay, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Let's not. And I didn't mind Genesis that much. I didn't think it sucked. I did think that it was kind of not necessary. Terminator 1, 2, and I could go with 3, and I like Salvation. 3, like you were saying, the ending makes it good.
The ending made the film really good.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's kind of like, okay, this is kind of just a lot of stuff taken from T2 to kind of make it all work, but Salvation I liked for other reasons. I just kind of like the difference from the other Terminator movies, but at this point, just stop. It's like with the Alien movies. It's Prometheus when they first announced it sounded like a good idea, and that kind of was like, when it came out, it's all right. Kind of a miss, and then Alien Covenant, like as I was telling you,
I think we can all agree. I
don't think Alien Covenant film. I don't even think Alien Covenant was a film. I think it was just a documentary on having the dumbest people be space adventurers or space explorers.
And here's the ugly part of it too. I like Ridley Scott, but when Ridley Scott blackballed Neil Blomkamp, who had all these interesting ideas for how the Alien franchise could move forward, instead of looking back, how it could move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he's just like, no. He flexed his muscle, and he said, no, I want my film to come out first. I want to have the biggest influence on the Alien franchise. To which Neil Blomkamp was just like, but my film here, I've got Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn signed on to come back as Ripley and Hicks. We're going to curtail off of Aliens and completely forget about Alien 3 and Resurrection. We're going to steer the franchise.
How dare you?
We're going to steer the franchise in the direction that it should have gone. But then all of a sudden Ridley Scott was just like, that's all well and good, but I want to make mine first.
So that was okay, because I remember hearing about it. Like, they were trying to put a project together, but pretty much it was a continuation off of Aliens. That was Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp from District 9, yes. And,
so when you say he's blackballed, like all of Hollywood, or just like
by 20th Century Fox,
okay.
Because 20th Century Fox was desperate for something good with the Alien franchise so that they could legitimately keep it going. And Neil was just like, well, I have these ideas here. I have this idea for Ripley and Hicks, and also I have a potential idea how we can bring Newt back into the fold. I have an idea for how we can do this and do that. And right then there was a big issue with Ridley Scott, because Ridley Scott was promised that he would get to make a sequel to Prometheus, but Prometheus didn't perform well enough at the box office to immediately greenlight the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So they were looking for options, and instead of going with the new director, who's had a few missteps but is very passionate about telling a new Alien story with Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn signed on. Sigourney Weaver was signed on for it. She signed on the dotted line as soon as she read the script, because she was like, this is going to be very interesting. I want to do this. And when you can convince Sigourney Weaver to come back after the shit shows of Alien 3 and Resurrection, you're doing something right. But that being said, I mean, look, you have such a great director with Neil Blomkamp. I mean, District 9's a good film. Elysium's a good film. Chappie had some.
It's the one. It's the one out of the three there, the Blomkamp ones that I haven't watched yet. I still need to watch Chappie, but yeah, I like.
Chappie, save your money on Chappie. It's got some interesting ideas, but they don't follow through with the execution because I think Neil Blomkamp was just. I don't know if he was having too much fun with Dee Antwoord, but that was the problem with the film. But I was excited to see it, and then as soon as Ridley Scott came in and swung his dick around and was just like, "No, I'm going to make the next Alien film," to which they said, "We're sorry, Neil, but we're going to move forward with Ridley here. He's got a good name on the franchise and this and that, and we really want to see what he's going to say with Alien Covenant."
I'm sure they're regretting that one now.
Oh boy, howdy! I bet you they are.
That bombed, right?
It did. Okay. It did not make enough money to legitimize its existence. And I hate that is the reality of it. I hate that's how things fell down. Is we had two great films to start out with. We had Alien, which introduced us to the universe and the character of Ellen Ripley, and the monster, the xenomorph. Then we had Aliens, which continued the story, moved the story forward, introduced more characters.
Injected that kind of that 80s kind of action hero kind of thing to it.
It actually is more timeless than you'd think. You see, it has a lot of the stereotypical stuff from the 80s, but at the same time, it doesn't have pop cultural references and shit like that makes it dated.
Oh, yeah. No, I just watched Aliens the other day, and I was like, this fucking movie's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And then you had a huge misstep with Alien 3, which the studio did not know what the hell they were doing, and they dumped off the movie onto the young and very talented David Fincher, who went on to direct some of the best films of the 20th century and the 21st century, actually, and they just dumped it off on him because they felt like it. And they felt like that, this kid's a music video director. What the hell would he know about directing a movie? And he never worked, and I don't think he ever worked for 20th Century Fox again. And rightfully so, because how they screwed him over. I mean, they didn't have a script. He was filming stuff based upon like a spec script that they had, but no dialogue, no nothing. And the editing was a nightmare too, because they were in the editing room for I think a year and a half just trying to make the film work as a concurrent, as like a full film, and they couldn't make it work.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Alien 3. I just remember it being like just tedious and just downright just not good. Just a very, very hastily edited film that ruined the early reputation of a very promising young director with David Fincher. And then, of course, Alien Resurrection, which a lot of people forget this, written by Joss Whedon. That makes sense now. I can see it because it like the whole like the mercenaries or whatever it was, the smugglers. I forget what that group was. Yeah, that's like okay, Firefly. Basically, yeah, just take Firefly and like
except make them all uninteresting, except for Ron Perlman. Actually, if Ron Perlman was Jane, that'd be actually pretty freaking cool. Even though Adam Baldwin is awesome as
I think because that was Resurrection came out in what, like 98 or something?
97, 98. Yeah.
So I was like
about that time.
7 or 8 years old. Something like that. Yeah. So I was a kid. I think that was actually my first Alien movie that I watched. I didn't see Aliens or whatever until I was probably 12 or 13, something like that. But yeah, I remember that. I actually just, I guess from nostalgia one, I didn't really have that much of a problem with Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection, I think, was okay. It wasn't.
It was an action. It was
stupid, but
there's no horror to it, really.
No, not really. So, outside of the one scene where they were underwater, that was pretty terrifying.
But steering back into Terminator territory.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
$120 million loss, projected to be. $120 million loss.
And that's no fault but the filmmakers themselves. Because, look, here's what you need to do with the Terminator franchise. Let it rest. Let it rest for a little while. Because there is an old saying that I believe in. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I would honestly just let it. I mean, unless they're willing to, like you said, I like Terminator Salvation. It almost looked they were going to build up for a sequel to that, and I wouldn't mind that. Like a movie that's just set in like the war between the machines and stuff. I'm all for that. But going back to this tired thing with like we're going to send fucking robots back in time to save either Sarah Connor or John Connor or whoever's the fucking villain now. It's just like it's so tired and fucking overdone, and like it just brings up the point. Okay, why did the machine go back to this time and not fucking 10 days later, earlier, or something like that to do the job different? You know, it's like when you get into time travel in the way they do, it just opens up a whole fucking can of worms that are it's
it doesn't make any sense really.
And so I think. Honestly, I get it for them, for these big production studios. They think that trying anything new is too risky and stuff. We're only going to be able to make $400 million instead of $500 million, and so we can't take the risk. They just need to fucking stop doing this, reboot everything from the fucking 80s and 90s and stuff, and
look,
fucking start coming up with new shit.
I know.
Please,
If they want to reboot something, how about they reboot something that had promise but didn't live up to its full potential,
or even reboot like some from like the 40s or 50s, like
or that, yeah.
I mean, like that people, you know, our parents didn't see. Somebody that like our grandparents or great grandparents or something. Then it works.
Yeah,
but
and what I would do if you know what I would do. There's actually an idea I've had for a little bit. It's sort of it's not a reboot, but sort of a story within the universe of The Lost Boys. You ever saw The Lost Boys?
A long time ago.
1980s, Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patrick, about, group of young vampires. And all.
It's vaguely. It's been a while.
There's actually a story I've had for a while. It's this guy, it's these siblings, a brother and a sister.
Mm-hmm.
The brother's older and the sister's a lot younger. The brother is about 16, 17, and the sister is about 12 or 13. Anyway, they live with an abusive father, or an abusive older relative.
Right.
Anyway, they live with them, and they really don't have a way out because the boy has tried to save up money to where they can move and leave, but then the person they're trying to escape from finds their money and takes it from them. So he doesn't really see any way out, and whenever he's out just hanging out one night, he encounters a vampire, and the vampire gives him an offer of immortality, this and that. He doesn't do it for the immortality. You know what he does it for? He does it to save his sister from a terrible life. So what he does is that he takes the offer, becomes a vampire, and and in the Lost Boys universe, you don't officially fully become a vampire. You can change back if like the vampire who turned you is killed, or if the vampire who turned you is killed, as long as you don't do your first kill. As a vampire, the very moment you kill someone as a vampire, you're stuck that way forever.
Okay.
And the one thing I would do is the older brother does this because of his little sister, and he pretty much, as a vampire, for his first kill, kills the abusive relative, and thus sets himself free. And he tells his sister, "Don't look for me, just stay away from me," and this and that. And then he leaves, and once he leaves, and then we pick up the story a few years later, and then here she is looking for him, and she's looking for places that she's heard through the grapevine that have been known to have vampires and stuff like that.
You're saying this is how like a potential
potential story, a potential story could work, because I think that would work a lot, because the guy who's a vampire, full vampire now, who can't go back, has a legit reason as to why he is a vampire. And thus that adds a whole new parallel to the story that I think could be explored with a whole bunch of different sets and everything like that. But that's just me. That's what I would do with the Lost Boys, instead of going back to Corey Feldman and just have him do the raspy voice for both sequels that they pushed out in the mid 2000s, like your brother's a bloodsucker and this and that, blah blah blah. It's like,
yeah. So the thing is, like, the people that actually create the story, like if they're the ones that, like, well, in this case with Terminator, it doesn't exactly look like, because James Cameron was the producer on it, but for Dark Fate. But for, if you want to continue the story because you're the one that created that, I can understand. With Axiom, I definitely see a lot of different storylines on it. It'd be cool.
And you see that, that's something that could be built upon. For instance, Avatar. People forget that Avatar, the highest grossing film before Avengers Endgame, was a completely new and original IP.
Yeah.
And look what happened. It took over the friggin' world.
And the fact that there's sequels that are going to it is fine, because James Cameron is the one that it's his vision. He's still, he's the one that's running the show on it. So I can get that. When it's Paramount Pictures or fucking Disney or whatever, and they want to dredge up a movie that was made 40 years ago with some new director, new producers, people that never had any direct influence on the original stories and stuff, then it just, you're not going to make, most likely you're not going to make a decent story. But you'd be better off creating something new. I mean, I'm not looking for cerebral fucking, I don't need every movie to be Interstellar or whatever, all the shit that Christopher Nolan puts out. I
like Chris Nolan.
Yeah, Chris Nolan's good, but I fucking Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies. But if you make new stuff, then it's gonna be I know I know, like, a lot of the live action anime, remakes or like, whatever, like live actions. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it, but adaptations. They get a lot of heat because they're never really good. But I never really, watched the Ghost in the Shell movies or read the Alita Battle Angel manga and stuff.
Well, Alita Battle Angel was good. It was good.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed it. And I enjoyed, I know Ghost in the Shell got a lot of heat. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't.
And you see the interesting thing about when they cast Scarlett Johansson as the Major, when they went over, everyone here in the States, was offended. They were offended and this and that. They go over to Japan and they tell the Japanese, "Hey, did you know that Scarlett Johansson's going to be playing the Major?" And they're just like, "Really? That's amazing! I can't wait to see it. That's going to be amazing." Yeah. I mean, and they actually showed the picture of her next to the character in the manga, and they're like, "Yeah, she looks a lot like her," and this and that. Besides, here's the thing I'm going to say about Ghost in the Shell. Almost none of the characters, there's only like 2 or 3 characters that traditionally look Japanese. Makoto does not look Japanese. Bato does not look Japanese. Bato is a gigantic blonde-haired like behemoth of a man.
I mean, it also takes place in the at least 100 years or something in the future.
I think 50 years.
So you can already, if you can go ahead and project, just as far as intermingling of different ethnicities and stuff around the world. Well, yeah, makes more sense.
But the truth is, man, I mean, people got offended on Japan's behalf, but Japan wasn't offended. The Japanese audiences loved it. The Japanese audiences loved the fact that Ghost in the Shell was getting a serious treatment in the United States. It didn't matter if the film was uneven, which it was, and it didn't tell a compelling enough story to really make an impact, but still the fact that Japanese anime and like, people don't understand how popular Japanese manga is in Japan. It's ridiculous. You think comic books are bad here in the States? Dude, otakus put comic book nerds to shame with how dedicated they are to their art form. They put them to shame, and that's no exaggeration. The amount of books that are sold in Japan just from manga alone is ridiculous. And people don't understand that. People don't in Japan really don't care as long as the world is absorbing their artwork. I don't think they really give a shit who's playing them in a movie or anything like that. And besides, if
they can do the character right, then it works. I mean, there's certain things like that are blatantly obvious. Like, I mean, if it's a, especially for historical type stuff, time period, if you're going to show ancient China, where, like a Jet Li type movie or something, I don't know, if you're going to do that, then yeah, it makes sense to have a Chinese person in it for historical purposes.
Well, but if you're talking about a fantasy, like a pure fantasy, like a Japanese manga about, I don't know, let's just say a high school set in outer space involving a guy who runs into this girl on accident, and they both have to work together in order to save the world, and all this. Like, insert any friggin' Japanese manga storyline. Mm-hmm. I mean, any fantasy storyline like that, then I don't think it should matter who plays who. Whereas if you're talking about something historical, I think it should be more like, if you're wanting to portray more historical accuracy, yeah, I think you should have someone who is Japanese portraying a Japanese historical figure. Or same thing with like, for instance, Keanu Reeves being put in 47 Ronin. Actually, when they heard about that, they were like, everyone was excited. Oh my God, Keanu Reeves is actually committing and is going to be in the 47 Ronin story, which it's been romanticized, and it's a part of kind of Japanese mythology. Yeah, and it's been retold time and time again. And he's in the movie, he's a half-breed, which, truth be told, Keanu Reeves is part Asian. That makes more sense from the content. I mean, and it makes sense that he's more of an outcast, because back in the day, he would be an outcast. Oh, they would see him and they would immediately cast him out.
Yeah, just cast you out. They would pretty much kill you on sight usually, but yeah. Back in the I think it was the Edo period, they were not cool with foreigners. But,
no, they weren't.
But yeah, and obviously the other big thing with Terminator Dark Fate is, again, if you want to have, and I was talking to this with you earlier, but if you want to have a cast with all females and stuff, that's fine. Make it original stuff. Don't do it, though, at the sacrifice of the story, at the characters that are important to the fans of the original movies and stuff. For Dark Fate, I haven't even seen it, but from what I've heard from it, I mean, I don't want to get into. I guess I don't want to get into spoiler type.
No, you don't have to get into the spoilers, but let's just say you're very displeased with how they treated the original.
Yeah, if it's what I've been hearing as far as how they go about things, is just for the big characters in the Terminator franchise. It's just sad. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you even making a Terminator movie at this point if this is the contrivance you have to go through just to
try and tell the story?
Strong female characters and stuff.
Well,
and
look, I don't mind strong female characters.
I don't. Again, like I said, if you make it, if you make the story so that it's like that, then you're good to go. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. If you're even if you want to do a story about politics, and you want to get really left-wing or right-wing about it, fine, make it your own IP. Don't sap off of great movies back from the 80s and 90s that people it's beloved by people, and just for the sake, because it's popular, so ergo I can make lots of money off this and get my own agenda across. Don't do that shit.
No,
you want to put your message out. Do it on your own merit. Don't fucking tear down other people's artwork to do it. And
that's a fair assessment, I feel. I mean, that'd be the same thing as, for instance, if I wanted to do a remake of Boys Don't Cry, the story of Brandon Tina or Tina Brandon, whichever. But if I wanted to remake that, but instead I wanted to make it about the struggles of being a straight white male, that would make a lick of sense. It would make a lick of damn sense. I'm sorry, but and I think that's a worthy comparison, because Boys Don't Cry is actually a very good film. But at the same time, it's like if you try to take something like that, it's like I want to make a Boys Don't Cry sequel where it's actually boys and they're and it's showing that they don't cry because I want to portray the struggle of a straight white male. It's like you see, is that fair? Is that fair? Because do you know the story of Boys Don't Cry?
Never.
Boys Don't Cry is about this woman named Tina Brandon who wanted to identify as a man and switched the name around to Brandon Tina. And Brandon Tina, wasn't sure of what they wanted to be or anything like that, and eventually tried to identify as a lesbian. But by that point, Brandon Tina was seen as a boy by a lot of the guys around school because of how Brandon dressed and all that. But then after that, they found out and they killed her. And it's very sad and it's a real story. It really happened. And it would be.
So I'm sorry. You find out that somebody is a different gender.
Yeah.
And so you just go fucking kill them.
That's what happened, though.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened. And it would be like me making a sequel to that, but instead it's about me portraying the struggle of a straight white male. It doesn't make sense. And it's look, I don't care about if you're man or woman, male or female, if you identify as whatever. I don't care. If you are wanting to make a film and you want people to come to it, at least tell a good story. At least tell a good story. That's all it's about. That's all I've ever wanted.
If you're not going to make a good story, then why pay money to go see it? Your message, whatever messages you want to put in it, don't mean shit if it's not worth seeing. If there's no reason to keep me entertained in the process, then I have no need to spend money on it. And maybe that's not necessarily the best way to look at it, but the film is a product. You are making a transaction with a customer, and if the customer doesn't like your product, they're not going to buy it. So
that's fair enough.
But anyways, we've probably talked about that. I don't know. Is there anything else?
Yeah. Well, in terms of what we have here, in terms of games, Overwatch, the new Overwatch was announced. Overwatch 2.
I saw the trailer, bro. It was interesting.
Oh yeah, and I'm interested to see how they're going to adapt stuff into a single player or more story-based multiplayer way. Because if they have a single player campaign where you can you actually go through and you take control of different characters and different scenarios and stuff like that, that would be interesting.
Is that how you think it'd be? Where you do one?
No, from what they've portrayed, from what they've shown, it's going to be story-based multiplayer missions where you and up to 4 friends can play together and all that. But you can play solo if you want to. That's what I'm thinking. You can play solo, and the rest will be computer controlled.
See, that's that might work for me. The storylines where the campaigns where it's kind of based on multiplayer. I'm not a fan of that was when the first Titanfall came out, and I got it. I was surprised that I was expecting there to be a campaign, I think I had gotten it knowing there wasn't a campaign, but then there was, but it was multiplayer. I was like, it's kind of interesting, but it's problematic because then you're not more often than not you're not getting put into the game in a chronological order. Sometimes
no, you're not. And that was the problem.
And
they rectified that problem. They rectified that problem with Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 had a tremendous storyline. Yeah, I love the story.
The only fucking critique that I got by and large was that it was too short.
Yeah. In which
you're doing good if that's the main problem.
Respawn, they're rectifying that problem, and they're doing a soul-only single-player game now for EA in the Star Wars universe with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, the thing is, I kind of got burned with Battlefront 2.
Well, no, here's the thing. That was DICE, who's completely under the control of EA. Respawn is not under the full control of EA. Respawn and Stig Asmussen, when EA came in and tried to tell him how to micromanage and make his game, he gave them the finger and told them to get the hell out of his office. Stig Asmussen does not play that shit. Stig Asmussen helped give us the God of War franchise. The man knows how to make a good game. And from what I understand, this is going to be a comparison between Dark Souls and what was the other comparison? A little bit of Dark Souls and a little bit of... they said it's Star Wars The Force Unleashed set in the Dark Souls universe. And they're saying it's also going to be a lot like the new God of War 2014. Because Stig Asmussen and Cory Barlog used to work together. Cory Barlog is the director of the new God of War.
Yeah.
And they're saying that this story campaign is going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 hours long. Very long and a very worthwhile campaign. That's what a lot of people are looking for with single-player experiences nowadays.
Yeah.
And if it's a success, it's going to throw a big wrench in EA's future plans of their multiplayer-only mindset. It's going to throw a huge wrench into it. And Respawn, where they're at the head of this, and Stig Asmussen is at the helm of it, if the board members at EA see how successful it is, they could put Stig Asmussen in as head game director of EA. And if that happens, holy shit. I will be so excited because Stig Asmussen deserves that. I mean, he should have been the head of video game development at Sony already after all the work he did on the God of War franchise and after saving God of War 3 after Cory Barlog left. But instead, they just kept relegating him into a secondary game director at Sony Santa Monica Studios, which is a decent enough place, but where you're Stig Asmussen, who's given so much to the God of War franchise, he dedicated almost like 15 to 20 years of his life to that franchise.
Yeah.
And then they just sell him off. And they just sell him off like nothing. And then he goes to Respawn, and now he's crafting a game that a lot of people are saying is potential game of the year because of just how good it is and the story and everything. And then it's a reinvigoration of single player games, and I'm so freaking excited.
It is good to see that, because I mean, like I said, Modern Warfare was this iteration of Call of Duty was actually it was pretty good. I mean, I liked Infinite Warfare, and this, I didn't, again, me not being much a multiplayer guy, I kind of skipped over Black Ops 4. I did watch like a kind of it was, I guess, like it's hard to call it a game movie of like, I don't know if they were like tutorials or character introductions or whatever. They had like missions where each type character would get this kind of like objective thing, and there was some sort of story to it, but it was just weak ass.
Weak sauce. I get you.
But with this Modern Warfare, pretty good, and so it does definitely look like we're kind of getting the age of, let's make put the bare minimum effort to make a product that we can make as much money as possible. That era is starting to kind of die, which is good to see. That
I'm glad, because
people are fed up with the give us just garbage.
The only one that's still making money nowadays is Fortnite, which Fortnite's for kids. What can I say?
Yeah, I've never played it, so
I have, and it's interesting, but as Wildcat said in one of his more recent Modern Warfare videos, it's like, it sucks you can't build shit to just get out of shitty positioning, huh? It really sucks, doesn't it?
Well, one of the things, like, for whatever reason, Modern Warfare, well, not for whatever reason, there is a reason. Modern Warfare, like, people are getting all, they're crying about Russia being portrayed as this, bad guy in Call of Duty. Like, where the fuck have you been for the last fucking 12 years or whatever? 12 years since Modern Warfare 4 came out, right? I mean, they're complaining because they're portraying Russia for committing this crime on the Highway of Death. Basically, is what this whole thing is centered around. The Highway of Death was an event back during the Gulf War in 1991, where Iraqis were retreating from Kuwait. and basically the U.S. Air Force went through and just bombed the shit out of this convoy, but there were civilians that were in it as well, not just soldiers. So there was a controversy. Now, my take on it is the term highway of death is shorthand for any kind of situation like that where you have this large, type of infrastructure where you have lots of vehicles coming through and it gets bombed and because it's a choke point and stuff. So it's a choke point that gets bombed and stuff. So I'm yes, it's a historical thing, but basically people are complaining that it's historical revisionism because now you're portraying the Russians did something that the U.S. did.
The Russians have done way worse. If we're being honest, let's be honest. Yeah, here. I mean, every country has done something way worse than the Highway of Death. The only reason the Highway of Death stands out is because it's a good name. Much like the long ride of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, even though he only rode for like 15 miles.
Well, it's interesting, the argument, and it's kind of funny. People are saying that, it's Russia bashing because, the left doesn't, like Russia and stuff now. So clearly the bad guys. No, I don't know what fucking Call of Duty you guys have been playing for
Russia has done bad stuff for look at Makarov, look at Zakhaev.
Yeah, and those are points that I brought up in the comment section for a couple of videos that I watched. But ultimately, what it comes down to is Russia is an easy bad guy to point to that has been historically a rival with the West. And and actually has the in real world terms the threat potential to threaten Western countries up. Unlike nobody is Iraq being this huge global threat is not a believable storyline.
North Korea definitely isn't.
Yeah, I mean it's like a home front where North Korea rises up to conquer the United States. Oh my God, that was comical. It was interesting. It was interesting because they had the way they had plotted out the first few years of it and like the beginning of the storyline of Kim Jong-il dies, Kim Jong-un rises. Like they got the year right and everything is kind of creepy. But anyways, that's with Call of Duty. Russia is an easy bad guy to look to, and more importantly, I guess, in this age, it's not China. Because if you say anything bad about China, oh my God, this is the part about thing with China. Anything negative, any goddamn thing that if you portray China in a bad way, like we have movies that portray the U.S. government in certain bad ways, like Born Identity, right? Mm-hmm. Did the U.S. government or anybody fucking rise up in anger that how dare you say things like the U.S. the CIA would have this illegal organization that would commit assassination stuff? How dare you get rid of it immediately, banned, and we're never going to show this? No, that fucking doesn't happen because we're not fucking goddamn snowflakes. But the CCP has this narrative that they want to push that
they're infallible.
Back in the age of colonization, we were so many terrible things were done to us. So now we have to draw a line in the sand where if anything negative is said about us, it is an affront to us. Period. And
which is why South Park is now banned in China. Did you see?
I did. No.
The episode where South Park
I haven't watched it. It's been a while since
they absolutely shit on China.
I need to watch it. I need to catch up on the.
There was one
seasons.
Where Randy gets thrown in prison, and he's like, oh gosh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe they do this. And then all of a sudden, across the way, you just hear, oh, I know. They threw me in here because they said I looked too much like their leader. It was Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was just like, Jesus.
And that too. The whole Winnie the Pooh thing. It's so sad, dude. Like, I mean, anything Winnie the Pooh has just generally been banned. Period. Nothing visually related to Winnie the Pooh is allowed in China, because if some people have pointed it to Xi Jinping, and it's like, I mean, could you imagine somebody like doing that shit to Trump? I mean, that's shit that happens on a daily basis.
Yeah,
of the memes,
they say
Trump
that
memes and stuff. I mean,
they call him the cotton candy hair fiend, or the annoying orange, or orange man bad, and stuff like that. Like me, honestly, I make fun of Trump all the time.
No,
I mean, the guy is a loudmouth.
Yeah, I will not be the first person you look to defend Trump. Trust me.
But
the hurt feelings. Fucking goddamn, grow the fuck up.
You think, and it's like we think the people here in the United States are bad. Good God, China, they literally ban anything that.
I really do. I do hope that the whole like the May supports Hong Kong thing catches, and they feel obligated. They have to ban Overwatch because May supports Hong Kong now.
Yeah,
we can't have it. What's wrong with you people? So Blizzard, you can't do business with this whole new fucking curfew thing. It looks like you're probably going to lose a whole lot of business on that end.
Oh yeah, they are. They're going to lose a shit ton.
That's as much as that whole situation sucks and it's dystopian as it is. Maybe this will benefit the game industry and stuff. As far as maybe we can't look to China for the big bucks.
Here's what I'll say. How about instead of marketing to China and being all safe and everything, how about you actually say shit that's provocative that'll make people want to buy your shit? How about there's a reason why Eminem is the highest selling rapper of all time in spite of him being white. It's because he didn't care who he offended, and he spoke about shit that not only black people could identify with, but white people too. And he was more identifiable and this and that, and people bought his stuff just to see what kind of crazy shit he would say. And I mean, honestly, if I were to come out with a game tomorrow that was a video game version of Red Dawn, but instead of the Russians, it was China.
Well, that was the thing.
The movie. The original movie in 2008 was supposed to be
remake.
like that.
No, the remake. Yeah, the remake was supposed to be China,
and then they changed it.
They changed it to North Korea because North Korea is going to have the capacity to fucking invade the Western United States, of course, because they could barely fucking feed themselves. So sure.
Yeah, they can barely feed themselves. They have
and of course that movie wasn't even allowed in China anyways, because the China Commission, whatever their entertainment commission board of public.
Well, it's because it was anti-communist.
Safety. Yeah, of course. And so it doesn't matter. They'll fucking Hollywood will jump through hoops to satisfy them, and they'll be like
to that I'll say this: Hollywood suck a dick. I'm glad Hollywood's dying. I'm glad Hollywood's
we probably
dying.
have
we have a few memes.
What we got, Nick?
We got like 3, right?
Yeah. The first one is from Logan.
Oh, Logan.
Here's something random I found.
I forget I don't have to turn around anymore.
Yeah.
We have a 70-inch screen TV in front of us now, guys.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
Get the controls up here.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Today, I went to this wonderful, nifty little country called Afghanistan. Yeah, there I met these really nice men named the Taliban. They have a little club going. Oh, and they gave me this nifty little toy. It's called an AK-47. Yes, they say you point.
Looks like a shotgun.
That is definitely a shotgun.
Hello, Frog. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? Fine. What's going on?
You can't talk about Afghanistan.
Well, why not? It's so cool there. I mean, look what I got. Isn't this cool? Isn't this cool? Yes.
There's something I have to tell you about Afghanistan.
Okay.
All right, come here.
But
you see, the truth is, well, I thought you knew.
Oh my goodness! What have I done? The Taliban seems like such nice men. That's not what they meant when they said infidels. What do I do now?
Well, we just have to talk about something else.
Oh, okay. I visited Iraq.
Oh my God.
He's a really nice guy.
No.
He even showed me his home. I went to visit him one day, but then he wasn't in it anymore. What?
You can't talk about that either.
I can't? No.
I missed that episode of Sesame Street.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a $1.30 donation.
Union.
From Union.
Uh-huh.
Share people up. Here's memes.
Memes.
The floor is World Wars. World War I. World War II. Happy 18th birthday. I have a
Dan,
surprise
your
for
name
you.
didn't come
You've
through.
been drafted and are going to Vietnam.
Oh man.
World. Do you seriously need so many Dane colonies? Britain, you wouldn't get it. Everyone else during World War One. But I hate this gas masks, you can't see shit. Russians, you guys are getting masks. In American, man, I sure love free and democratic elections. United States, allow us to introduce ourselves. All the roads in the world, all the railroads in the world, all the seaports in the world. Japan's allies in May 1945. Franklin D. Roosevelt, polio.
Oh, whoa.
Was dividing up the Ottoman Empire. I'm not very good at it, but it doesn't matter. Germany asked
Yep.
Mexico to invade America.
And that is where many of our problems are
Intercepting the
today.
message. Ottoman soldiers after a battle with Vlad the Impaler. Oh, look at that, I've been impaled. Things adults shouldn't believe in anymore. Testing nukes in the desert for an isolated testing environment. Testing a nuke which shatters the windows of anything 900 kilometers away.
Yep.
Nuking some island in the Pacific and getting mad at New Zealand when they try to stop you. Testing nukes suspiciously close to where the natives live. People
Damn.
who play Assassin's Creed, history teachers. How I greet my friends in public, when I'm alone, when I'm with my mom. Slaviter Allen, I hope to use all 8 of my years in office to establish socialism in Chile. Augusto Pinochet, 3 take it or leave it. Ottoman Empire, decriminalize.
I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Freelancer Dan set up.
Okay. So it's just me right now, and all I'm going to say is this: how y'all doing today? We hope that you all are enjoying all this good stuff. Next week on the podcast, I'm going to be trying something new with the. I'm going to be trying something new with the podcast, and hopefully you all will be able to take part in it and enjoy it. And yeah, hopefully Jacob will also be with us. As you all probably noticed by well now, Jacob is not here because Jacob has been on location filming something for the last week almost. Yeah, he left last Thursday, and he won't be back, and he's back now, but he's going to be leaving again here soon, and I don't think he'll be back until Sunday, which is crazy, man, because, Jesus, guy works a lot. Guy's all over the place. But, I'm hoping next week that y'all will tune in, because I'm probably going to be trying something new. Let's see what we got here. Happy, Union's birthday. Yesterday. I'm 24 now. Yay, 24. I remember when I was 24. Actually, no, I don't actually. I don't remember much from like 22 to 25. I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing that I can't remember like 22 to 25.
I can remember certain things. It just depends. I have to think about it within certain context usually.
Hey, Remy Sanchez. It's good to see you again. Let's play Space Hulk, lol. I want to play Space Hulk. I mean, as soon as Jacob gets back, we're going to get him a copy of it, and then after that, we're going to try and link up and go and purge the Xenos brother. Thank you for reacting to the Smitty Sea of Thieves video request. No problem, Stefano. Yeah, I saw that one on there, and I was just like, yeah, I like Sea of Thieves. And we really need to get back to playing it.
Hey Dan, did you want this video to start at a specific time?
Nate, what did you think about that guy who's suing Popeyes over the chicken sandwich? A dude got stabbed over a friggin' chicken sandwich. He shouldn't sue Popeyes. He should sue the guy that stabbed him. He should sue the guy that did the stabbing, not
Yeah,
Popeyes.
but the guy that stabbed him probably didn't have hundreds of millions of dollars.
No, well, yeah, and that's the point. It's not about seeking justice, it's about seeking the easy way out.
Right.
And that's the problem with the world nowadays. Everybody wants the easy way out. It's like, oh, all of our problems will be solved if we just do this. All of our problems will be solved if we just do that. Here's the thing, nothing in life worth having comes easy, no matter who the hell you are. Doesn't matter. It's just
At least until we get to the post-scarcity age, then we're good.
well, yeah. Then there's that.
Unless you're in China, then you don't get to have fun.
Do the Renegades ever play Jackbox? Yeah, actually, some of
Yeah,
our
we played it
Yeah,
when
we-
we first got together.
yeah, we actually played it several times.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun.
I want to try it again.
Yeah.
I know Ron and Laura liked it.
Well, they're releasing a new one here soon.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. So we might have to do that in here.
Yeah,
'Cause we can set it up
now
on
we
there.
got the whole setup and everything.
Yeah,
Pull in some more chairs.
that'd be cool.
Sounds good to me.
That'd be really cool.
We got more memes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, here's Dan's.
Okay,
Freelance Dan.
Start time.
Freelancer Dan.
Freelance Dan, you got your legs back.
Magic legs. Everything good, Nick?
I think so.
As he slams the keyboard.
Uh-oh. Demo
Not
disc.
called Indians, they're called Native Americans.
No, they
Shut
call
up,
it
Bruce.
Indians now. They just went for it.
What? I'm
You
allowed
can
to
do
do
that.
that.
I want to think that.
Bruce is part native. So am I, but
I call them an Indian.
And I want them to go. You can't do that. Court is now in session.
Oh my god.
To fight for your own heritage.
I can't find my own people.
Who is the master of heritage?
Maybe he's from a different tribe. Have you considered that?
Well, yeah.
The Jewish
we're all
tribe?
From,
It's one nation.
we're all from one tribe, and that's called the world.
You may inherit the land, but I get the casinos.
Want to dance too?
Whoa!
You can't do that.
He looks so dumb right now. Look at him. He doesn't
Oh,
want any
they need to show Bruce's entrance. I love Bruce's entrance.
fire, water, burn.
Has license to do it just because some great ancestor raped someone. Adam thinks he has the right to do it because he pressed up on the analog.
Catch me if you can.
Oh, he did.
Wow, elevator drop. Nice.
You did. Unbroken.
Whoa! Like that. That's the way that
You
shifts.
have not seen the last of me, Mohican.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Here he comes with his one-liners again. I'm running out of material. Yeah.
Oh, my face! Oh, my face!
This is not how we rehearsed.
Going off script.
Oh no, wake up, Bruce!
Bullock.
Bruce, think of your people, which is him.
I love Funhouse so much.
Oh, he's stuck in the ropes!
Oh, God. I remember that part that happened next. That was awesome.
Okay, so the next one is from Automaton. It says, I, Giorno Giovanna, forgot my piano, but I'll advance it.
Dun, 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 Oh.
This is another anime opening. So I take it this is an anime about the Canadians from South Park.
How'd you know about it?
Hey, buddy. Don't call me friend.
Don't call me friend, buddy. I'll be honest, buddy. Feel the fire.
Alright, the next one's from SCP Scientist 153 with a $5 donation saying, for research purposes, yes, we're hiring.
Hey, thank you.
You saw the episode where with Amazon, right? With
We should toss in some.
Oh, yeah.
where Jeff Bezos is like a bald nutsack.
I suppose that would be a good idea. Jensen, can you go to Taco Bell and grab a potato griller for us?
Oh, for the love, you don't always have to stick me with this shit. Good fucking God. Maybe I want to watch the SCP while you get the fucking Taco Bell. Ever thought of that, motherfucker?
Jensen, I know you've been staring at the tits for the past 5 hours and nothing else. You have to do some work.
Are you even looking at what I'm looking at, bro? It's a nice fucking rat. One of those C's? D's? I don't give a fuck. I know one of them out. That's what I fucking know. I want to stick my dick between them. That's what I fucking
Wow, dude.
I cannot control this carnal desire to fuck.
Go get the goddamn Taco Bell.
I want to put my tongue inside of a go.
Fucking glass, Miller?
We just cleaned the glass. How was that noise?
Oh my God. Yo, she's humping the fucking glass, bro. She wants it, bro. I'm going in.
Jensen, no!
And he's dead. He deserves that. Yeah. Yeah, don't let the little head dictate what the big head's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Freelance Dan sent something and said, could you react to this?
Depends on what it is.
Let's see.
What's up, guys? 407 here. Welcome to
Oh, hey, Scotty.
Instant Regret. People do things and then immediately regret it. What you doing, Mr. Cat?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Rotten the old twig and berries. I feel like even if you watch
Rotten the old meat and two veg there, mate.
For the clock, I'm not entirely sure. Cats not the brightest animals.
Neither are humans, Scotty.
Oh.
Yeah, you deserve that. You deserve that. You kick a man.
That ain't it, Chief. Does he headbutt him? Oh, he needed
Ooh.
He just got dropped. I like how the girlfriend's like, oh no, my boyfriend. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
No better. Okay. What was that?
That was a terrible punch. Oh, God.
That one hurt. Shake it off, man. Just shake it off.
Walk it off, rookie.
Oh,
Nope.
Yikes. Yikes. Yep. Just play it off, buddy. Yep. Nothing happened. No one saw anything. You're good.
Oh.
Can't wait for this. What could go wrong on a scooter?
Plenty. Yeet.
Oof.
Oh.
We got a thought now.
Oh. Oh, no. Bro. Oh, that sucks.
Alright, let's see. We got one with a $5 donation from the Dom Anime. And just the MHA thing. Wait, why do I hear boss music?
Oh, God.
Wow. That's awesome.
Whoop whoop! He needs to see him fucking scatter.
Get it! Get it! Yes! Oh, yes! Get it! Get it! I love that! Oh, God, dude.
That's all the memes.
Okay. That was good. That was really good. I like that.
Right an hour and 26.
So, we got anything else we want to
Let's see. Oh damn! There was actually a really short video I was wanting us to watch so we could enjoy it on the stream. I forget what it is. God, his corrupted verge of witch chaos. Oh gosh, dang it! My head. Why is my head not working? Oh yeah, it's because it's attached to the rest.
His brain, no good.
Yeah, my brain broken.
You have a very big brain.
Oh, wait. I think I might remember it. Hold on. Let me see if it's the right one. There we go. Oh, come on. There's a more recent one.
See if you guys got any questions.
Sorry, guys. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so Nick, type in AH animated 2 hands Jeff, and it should be
Is Ghost Hunter?
yes, that's it. And guess which game he's playing here.
Union said something about the whole Popeyes thing. I'd use that advertisement if I was Popeyes. Our sandwich is so good, you might get stabbed over it.
Honestly, I probably would too.
You'll want it so much you'll stab a bitch.
Yeah. Popeye's chicken. It's dangerously delicious. Popeye's chicken. Popeye's chicken. It ain't just herbs and spices. It's blood too.
It's the secret sauce.
No, you got it out. Switch hands. Now, drop it though. Okay, now.
That just went straight in your deck.
Oh,
the camera just went off.
Yeah, it took the
Wait,
photo.
what did the camera see? Look at this, my autograph!
I'm gonna grab that camera.
Ghost is very
committed.
You've left 3 candles behind.
Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. The inventory is a motherfucker, okay?
Yeah, I get it.
How do I fucking...
Do you have the camera? Pick up the camera.
I can't pick up the camera, Jack. I got 2 cameras.
Pull them away!
Ow!
Open your inventory!
I will
investigate, but there's so many
There's so many pills.
Oh, then you just walk around with it.
You take a photo with it?
Oh, wait, look up. There's something, there's a path.
Oh, I wouldn't be following it backwards, but it's your prerogative.
They changed the notifications back from reading October.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a smiley person.
What a brave maneuver by Jeff. Also, the sanity, you just have a pulsing brain.
Yeah.
Go get a candle!
Look that way and take your photo. Ryan, here's the problem with the candle, buddy. You can't walk with a candle instead.
Just put it on that thing right there.
Is that someone down in the hallway sitting down?
We'll take a picture. It'll last longer. That's the
thing.
good line.
Run, Jeff! Run! She's coming! She's coming for you!
Don't go in there! Where are you going? Look at her! Where is she? Oh, still looking this way. Uh-oh. Where are you going?
I don't know, go over here.
Where are you going?
I'm going here.
Oh, she's gone. She's gone. You used her.
Well, did you go? Because look at that wall.
Uh-oh.
It's Gavin. And he's dead.
I thought I saw him, but...
I think we need that.
Christ.
Yeah, it was your jaw.
Well,
Alright, well, now, was that because we ran out of sanity?
That was the
Okay.
2 more memes while that was going on.
Okay, someone actually posted a little bit of a jingle. Stab a bitch for some Popeyes. And I got one. It actually is relative to their one that we had. Instead of Louisiana Fast, it's Popeyes. You gon' get stabbed.
Alright, so we got a meme
Popeyes.
from the gaming warthog.
Uh-oh. What's up, Game of Warthog?
Popeyes doesn't have like a Happy Meal type style thing, do they?
No.
Here, 2 shots of vodka.
Are you sure about that? Cover the headlock. Oh God. For those of you who have not seen Chernobyl, that actually will make you laugh. That actually makes you laugh no matter what. But if you've seen Chernobyl, you get the depth of that.
All right, now we got a meme from Juggernaut 64.
All right, Jug, what you got? What you got, Jug? What you got?
Yes, I'm having a good time. I feel alive. And the world, I'm trying. Body's aching. I'm falling and I can't get up. Can't anybody help me? I see a little silhouette of a man. Hey, hey, hey! Help me! My time is come. Mama!
That was good. That was good. I like that. Mama!
I was gonna say if Popeyes had a Happy Meal style type thing, the kids meal, whatever, the toy, and it would actually just be a shank.
Yeah. It's like if they ever start selling pork stuff, it's like, what do you want, rib or loin, garter or shank?
Alright, another short one for the gaming workload.
Uh-oh.
Union was asking how much we have to donate to get us to watch 11 minutes or something.
There you go.
Well, actually, Union, if you want to.
This is humongous.
That's so good! I love it!
I'm happy for you.
You don't get it?
I never watched The Office, so.
No, you don't have to get The Office. It's the picture that was in the laminate. You didn't see it?
No,
remember that guy who got...
I don't know who it is.
That's humongous. That's the guy who got in trouble by this one woman because she was had a camera in his face and was trying to grill him about why he supported this and that and these city ordinances, and he was just trying to just joke with her. She's like, "Will you give your name? Are you gonna give your name?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's humongous." Because he was a fat guy. He was fat. He was making a dad joke at his expense, and she's like, and she goes, "Humongous what?" And he's like, "I'm humongous. I'm fat. I'm making a fat joke at myself. Never mind." And he tries to walk away, and she then loses her mind and says, "This man just sexually assaulted me." I'm like,
fucking Christ, Nate. Tear up the whole set.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought it was a joke, but it was real.
Alright, we got any others?
Union donated $1.50 with some more history names.
Yay. Love history. I wish I would have completed college with my history degree.
Oh, great. And it's a German. Just what we need. Right, I'll handle this. And remember, we're friends now, so don't mention the war. Good morning! What are you doing? Oh, just inspecting this fence line over here. Nice day for it.
You were driving on the wrong side of the road. Is this your first time in Germany?
Nope, I've been here before. But, it was for work, mainly. What was left of them.
Excuse me?
Oh, no need to apologise. We're all friends now. On the same side. No need to mention the war. Speaking of which, I must say I really like what you've done with the place. It's charming. What? Now, there's no reason why we can't deal with this little fence situation at the roadside. After all, there's no need to escalate things. It's just a scratch. No need to get anyone else involved.
Yeah. I get that.
Who the hell invited them? Was it you?
You called
I don't mind that.
I don't really call it. We found just finished cleaning up the place.
Get out of the way! U.S. Army coming through! Make a path, Private Nobody! What the hell is that?
It's nothing.
Well, shoot. That fence has got more holes in it than a horse trader's mule.
No, it hasn't.
Looks like we got ourselves a code red. The perimeter has been compromised.
No, it hasn't.
hasn't.
I gave me more. I'll donate another short one.
Okay.
Shut the hell up, bitch. Go kill yourself. Go sit in the middle of the road and let a car run over you.
Okay, you heard Doc.
You are disgusting. I'm going to kill you. You're an alcoholic.
Damn. That's messed up.
Damn, Doc. Damn.
Oh, the joy in ad libs.
All right. Anything else,
Or
Nick?
sound bites. Said fucking ad libs. Add sound bites. All right.
God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was, Dr. Phil just told me to go sit in the middle of traffic. I was about to, but then he died, so there wasn't really much I could do about it. So, I just lived to disappoint Dr. Phil. That's just who I am.
Never really. I've never followed anything, but the most of interaction that I've ever had with Dr. Phil is the fucking was it Scary Movie 4? Whatever, where he's in the Saw movie.
Yeah, and he cuts off.
He cuts off the wrong leg.
He's like, I did it. I cut off my foot. Oh my God! What? Wrong foot. Mother. Yeah. But honestly, man, I'm glad that these are I'm still having fun doing these and everything. And it's been almost a year since we started doing
coming
these.
up on I think it's November.
There's
26th.
one more.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this and close it out.
I'll keep them coming. We actually need to wrap up here soon.
Yeah, here in just a little bit we need to, but
we'd like to go on forever.
I wish we could, but unfortunately there's such a thing as sleep.
We gotta eat.
Splatoon. Jesus Christ.
This looks like one of those,
Oh, is it the reveal? Oh, yeah. It's the Smash reveal.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. USSR 2.
Chicky bricky dumpky. Brush my, it's brush. Yes. What a
USSR 2, Soviet Boogaloo.
Oh God. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into this. This was the official 50th episode
50?
of...
Oh, I didn't even fucking know it was 50.
Oh, yeah. 50th episode of Renegades Ramble. We hope that you have enjoyed what you've seen here, and I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I am Roan.
I'm Nick.
And we will see you all in the next one. Thanks for the memes, and we'll see you then. Peace out.
Don't go see Terminator Dark Fate. It sucks.